Yo, what's up guys? Koi here. Today I'm going to be talking about progression. This is specifically progression. If you want to see like what are the best units to use and all the other stuff, I'm going to be dropping those videos at the same time. So while you guys, want to see the new player guide and everything like that, that will show you every single thing you can do in the game to progress. Dude, look at the channel, subscribe, maybe ring that bell, all that fun stuff. But today we're going to be talking about pretty much how to progress in the game as quickly and efficiently as possible. What are you going to need? What are some of the steps you're going to have to take? And first things first, I'm going to be talking about some of the buffs and systems they actually have in this game. So first things first, there are different team buffs such as gold bonuses and EXP bonuses, which aren't working at the moment, but they will be working hopefully during the release. So you can use those to push your progression to the limit. The other thing I would like to say is traits. I will go into a deep detailed guide on traits, which are the best ones and stuff like that, and move on from there. But of course, pick up traits with the best units that you have, and I'll tell you which ones to put it on. They do have a stat rolling system, which you do need to worry about. Make sure that you at least have decent stats across the board. Like I have S and health right here. I don't know what stats end at. I think maybe S+, maybe triple S, who knows. But so far I've only gotten S+ on some things. The other thing that they do have for progression is pretty much the leveling system right here, where you can get a crap ton of level rewards just for getting leveled up. As you can see, they give you a crap ton of different unique rewards every single time you get further and further into the game, just level wise by progressing. So do pay attention to that, so you guys will notice that. Evolution is going to have to be its own video because there's a lot of stuff for that is required in order to even do that. I would not personally spend money at the shop for any EXP items. This is just me personally, but I don't think it's worth the money. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the story. Then we'll talk about raids. Then we will talk about infinite mode, because I think infinite mode's the last one we really need to talk about. So for instance, story mode. Now, to progress in story mode actually requires a few things, and I'll put them on your screen. So to do Leaf Village, you can pretty much do this with the equivalent of a rare, as long as it's a decent rare like Ichigo, Goku, not Luffy. I'll talk more about those in a future video, or in the tier list video probably, about which ones you could really take to the next to the early game and kind of take them to like the future levels. But Leaf Village requires you to have just anything. Now, to do Marine Island, you're going to need to step it up, and that's probably going to be between epics, legendaries, or high-level rares. But that's only if you really love your rares quite a bit. You could take some rares to Marine Island, but that's kind of where they cut off. The scaling on legendaries, mythics, and epics are just much higher. I'll kind of show you what modifier on the screen, what we're kind of talking about here. We're talking about, let's say, one rare is the equivalent of... One epic is the equivalent of 2 rares. And 1 legendary is the equivalent of 2 epics. And then pretty much like mythics will be the equivalent of 3 legendaries. Now, this is just kind of the way it kind of works. Well, actually, I would say more like 2 legendaries, and then evolution 3 legendaries. So we'll kind of take that math as it is. Marine Island, you kind of want to use epics as much as you can. Hopefully you'll already have a legendary by the time you kind of start farming Marine Island, and this is where the dollar stops. Now, I'm going to be showing you guys 2 different progression things. One of them, me doing progression in the Red Light District compared to doing progression in the Marine Island. You'll see the levels that I get from the Red Light District at the cost of 9 minutes using the same characters. Just doing damage, you know what I mean? Just straight up killing the boss as fast as possible. The bosses there almost have 3 times the amount of HP as the ones at Marine Island. So the thing with Marine Island is the fact that you need to worry about only the fact that you need to worry about getting a legendary before like farming this all the time. This is also how you get the most EXP out of anything in the game, besides the cheesy ways that obviously exist as of this moment, such as the bugs and exploits that people can do. This is the cut and dry, true way to actually get as much EXP as possible. We're looking at about an equivalent of maybe 1,000 EXP every 4 minutes. which, by the way, can take your characters to very high levels, which I do show in the screenshots on the screen. Now, whenever we do talk about Red Light District, this is where legendaries are going to matter quite a bit. So whenever we talk about legendaries, we're going to have to use the legendaries quite a bit towards the end game, and the Red Light District is the first great example because it's almost 3 times stronger than the Marine Island, especially some of the bosses hitting like trucks. You're not going to be able to use rares. You might be able to use epics, and that's a maybe. Like, that's a fat maybe. Like, there's only like 2 epics in the game that could really get to West City and really be useful there. But besides that, you're mostly going to be using legendaries in the end game. So if you don't have legendaries before getting to Red Light District, I would suggest farming as much as you can, level-wise, to get as many gems as you can to get your first legendary. Getting your first legendary is honestly not that hard in this game. So if you haven't done that yet, it's honestly probably takes about your first hour of the game, honestly. It's really not that bad. West City. Now, the problem with West City is the fact that West City is the hardest city to do, even after they just nerfed it. The only way people have been able to defeat West City is by using exploits or bugs in the game to cheese everything in the game. So sadly, I have not seen a way to beat West City without a full stack of 3 legendaries with really, really high level. We're talking like high level legendaries that you swap through to do as much damage as quickly as possible, and maybe even with good traits, because West City is just much stronger. Now, is there an incentive to do West City? Yes. Honestly, to do West City and beat it would give you so much EXP compared to the Red Light District. Like, we're talking sensu beans give off almost 4 times the EXP that Red Light District does. So that's truly the end game of the end game. And West City, once you kind of do that, mythics do start to pop up in your inventory after that, once you actually start working on it. So besides that though, freaking with the way that it's been set up, I think that maybe later on we will be able to defeat West City if they nerf it a little bit, but as of this moment I have not found a way to beat it without someone using exploits or bugs. So I would say high-level legendary, maybe high-level mythics, in order to defeat West City, and maybe even an evolution, like an actual evolution. Besides that, let's talk about raids. Raids, you're going to be able to pretty much take any character, but honestly, if you want to do the most damage, you're going to be using epics, you're going to be using legendaries, because you're going to want the resources for evolution. There's crafting resources here, there's mythical tickets here, there's, different things you can get from the raids. And one of them being the actual raid system you can use for progression as well, which is right here. As you talk to Rem, there's a raid shop where you can pick up spell cards, you can pick up super spells, you could pick up trait tokens. This is a fantastic way to do that. This does require you to pretty much do as much damage as possible to a boss. I'll probably show a clip right here of me doing that raid as well, just to show you that it is like possible to do it solo. It will kind of show the counter. I think the one I have recorded is a bugged out version of it, but yeah. So besides that though, that's raids. So you will get a bunch of rewards from raids, like a crap ton of rewards. That is the true end game of the game, is doing raids every hour, making sure that you're progressing as far as you can, and working with friends even helps quite a bit. So besides that though, quests, I would say, are negligible because that only works with gems, which is a whole different system I don't plan on talking about. But let's talk about infinite mode. Now, infinite mode is mostly for gems, and all it is truly just a boss rush. Is it necessary to do? I would say it's way less necessary to do than actually just doing raids hourly instead. So, it really just depends on if they end up buffing it in the future. As of this moment, it takes forever to do. People are mostly doing it using exploits as well, so it's like it's not really that big of a deal as of this moment. But I would say, in future cases, we'll see what happens next. Of course, if you guys want to see more content, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys later. Take it easy and peace out. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.